Poor storage can have a catastrophic effect on coated materials, especially on abrasive belts. So we're just going to have a look at paper products just for a few seconds now. So what I've got here is a paper belt. Now really the information we're going to give you is for much larger products than this, but this will do for the demonstration. Okay, now when we send these products out, these paper wide belts, they come packaged with a paper wrapper around them, but they're quite tightly bound up. So what we want you to do a couple of days before you're actually going to use these belts, take all the packaging off, and what we want to do is we want to let the belts breathe a little bit and open out. Two things with that. First of all, it'll be easier to handle. It'll be easier to get onto these large pieces of machinery. The second thing is, the more open they are, the flatter they are when they're on the machines, the better the finish will be. Now the tendency might be for me, when I get this big cardboard box with these belts in, is to leave the wrap around them, take them out of the cardboard box and stand them up. Now if you were to stand a paper belt on a concrete or a stone floor, what will happen if it's in direct contact? Moisture will start to rise up where this is contacting the floor. Now if the moisture gets into this paper, the paper expands and it can cause damage. What you'll notice is the belt is something that we call trumpeting. So the bottom of the belt, it flares out and then it's not ideal. So you'd put that on a machine, you turn the machine on and the edge of this belt would start flapping about. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is, because it's paper, it's laminates. Okay, so if the moisture gets in there, it can open and expand out and then that can cause damage to the joint. So if you're going to stand belts directly on the floor or you want to stand them up, put a wooden board down, put a pallet down or something with a piece of cardboard on so that these aren't directly on a concrete floor or a stone floor. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, we would ideally like you to hang belts up. Now this hanger we've got here, we use for a lot of our other belts. Okay, so it's got a fairly big circumference, and when you've taken the paper wrap off, if you've got a pack of 10 belts, what we'd like you to do is hang that belt up. And like I said, what we want to do is we want this belt to have a bit of chance to breathe and open up. So again, easier to handle and it'll aid in the finishing. When we supply abrasive belts, wide belts, they usually come, or they predominantly come, with these cardboard ferrules. Now these cardboard ferrules would fit in there like that and they would protect the radiuses of the bottom of these belts from getting crushed in transportation. But what customers will do, they'll take these cardboard ferrules and while the belts are hanging, they'll just insert that in there and it adds a little bit more weight just to pull that belt down. So again, it's going to let the belt open up a little bit more. What we don't want to see though is belts being hung directly on anything with a squared edge. Okay, now if I was to hang these belts on this piece of timber, for example, the square edge will be transferred into the paper. So not ideal. So again, what a lot of our customers do, they'll hang a batten, but what they'll do is they'll take the cardboard ferrule, they'll put that on the batten, and then they will hang the belts like so. So again, it's exactly the same as what we're doing, but it protects the belts, better finishing, easier handling, less damage.